Hey, friends. Hey. If you know me, then you know. Listen, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my BFF Rose, my very bestest friend. She's been doing hair since before I met her, and that was in 2000. Yeah, shout out to my soror, my sister, my bestest friend, Jacqueline, Boiling Point. Um, if you are in Salisbury, North Carolina, or the surrounding area, and you need a stylist, want some good, braids, and a good atmosphere, I want you all to go to Unlimited Styles and Beauty Supply. They have two wonderful stylists, my BFF being one, Monica Laney being the other, and it's a beauty supply store. So I'm not going to just say support black business, support good business. That's first and foremost. Okay. Okay. And then, and then I just want to share, um, I don't really want to quote this person because, he's in, hey, hold on. Yeah, I had to get my grandson. I call him friend. His name is Caleb, but anyway. Um, what was I saying? Um, Mystical, let's just pray for him because, he's just going through. But anyway, in his song, The Man Right Here, he said, "You'd rather be my enemy because I'm a deadly friend." And, yeah, just let that resonate with your spirit. I want to talk about family, love, relationship, which is something that has been very, heavy on me for the past few years now. Um, I've always been a person of love. I've always been a person, I've just loved people. But at some point in my life, I've always continued to love people, but I've shied away from them because I was constantly being hurt. I was constantly being rejected. And I just felt like, I wasn't enough. I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't skinny enough. I wasn't smart enough. And I realized today, which I've been coming to realize for quite some time now, when and why that happened. So it's important, very important, to not only be aware of your growth, but to acknowledge it. Part two. Okay, I'm back. So yeah. Um, I have not been out of my surrounding area by myself, I want to say since March of 2020. Or let me say, I have not been to the salon that my friend works at since March of 2020. So I realized that it's something that I've always noticed. When it comes to doing things for myself, I will find a reason not to do it. Most times it will be taking care of my son. If you know, if you don't know, I have a 15-year-old son and he has autism spectrum disorder. Um, I do have two older daughters, but I've never looked at it as their responsibility to care for their brother. Now they will, and they do help me. Um, my middle daughter goes to Fayetteville State, and she'll be returning to school on Tuesday. For the most part, when I try to take time for myself or I need to take time for myself, I don't because my son, my responsibility, and that's how I feel. However, today I went to get my hair done. And usually my friend would come to me, which I really appreciate. But I went to her and I realized that I was suffering from anxiety. And it's very sad to me that I almost had an anxiety attack. because I was doing something for myself on my own. May you never get to the point that self-care triggers you, because that is no way to live. That is no way to live at all. Nevertheless, here I am. And so I'm going to get back to emotions, family. Um, it's imperative. It's important. And yeah. Part 3. So yeah. Like I said, I am what they call an introvert, but I love people. I love helping people. I'm an empath. I feel everything. So my goal is to now set healthy boundaries. One thing that really triggers my heart is relationship, family. And it doesn't even have to be blood relation, just relationships and family, because people are not disposable objects. Um, Relationship is necessary. It's why we were created. It is important. And so I feel that now I'm having a very difficult time because I felt the reason that I am in North Carolina was because I had a husband. This is where we resided. I no longer have that husband. Marriage has been dissolved. He has moved on. So why am I here? That's what I struggle with. I also struggle with the reality for me that I really want and desire a relationship. The people that know me and are very close to me are not here. Um, they're at least 45 minutes or more away. Um, so a lot of times my children and I feel like we're just here. Um, because in as much as you want to develop relationships, it's difficult because sometimes you feel like you're bothering people. Or sometimes you feel like, people have established these relationships that they already have and they don't want you to be a part of it. So a lot of times you create scenarios in your head that are not even reality. And that's difficult. Very difficult, especially for me, because I love people. I genuinely love people, but I don't want to be hurt. And I know that I wouldn't hurt people, but it always seems like people are hurting me, or I'm allowing myself to be hurt by people. It's a conundrum. I just wanted to use a big word. So yeah, for most of my life, I've moved. My mother worked for the federal government, so we moved to Japan, then we moved to Germany, then we moved back to Maryland, and then from Maryland, I came to college in North Carolina. So, and then for a brief moment, I moved back to Missouri with my mom, but then came back to North Carolina. So this is the place that I have been for quite some time. And one would think, after being here for almost 20 plus years, I would have developed some form of something. Um, but I realized that healing is a journey and not a final destination. Something else that I realized, Judge Lynn Toller posted today, and she said that you cannot allow or don't allow the little girl in you to die. At the same time, she cannot run the show. Don't allow the little girl, the little boy inside of you to die. However, they cannot run the show. So it's really about facing those fears. And if y'all know, y'all probably ain't got no kids. I mean, if you do, if you got little kids, Jules TV, listen, Jules TV is, they have a song called Gotta Be Brave. It's even on iTunes. I want y'all to look that up and listen to it. It's a bop. Um, but in that song, they say, I don't cry no tears. I'm gonna face my fears. At the end of the day, you gotta be brave. So, in this season, I'm working on being brave out loud for me. Because I've always been brave out loud for everybody else. But I'm going to be brave out loud for me. Don't let anyone mute you or mute your truth because it's your reality and it's your life that you're living. Gotta be brave. Be brave out loud on purpose. So, in conclusion, for now anyway, because yeah, I don't know. Um, as I always say, give yourself grace. And a lot of times when I'm talking to myself out loud. Give yourself grace because we've spent so much time being told what to do, what not to do, what to feel, what not to feel, um, not to care, to cut people off. Um, Another thing interestingly that I saw was how they say a lot of women now give off masculine energy. And in talking to my therapist, Asha the Great, I told her how um, I realized that for most of my life, I've been this hard person, or I've given off this tough vibe because I always felt like I had to protect myself, take care of myself and everybody else around me. And she helped me to realize or to acknowledge that I felt that way because there was never really a male in my life that made me feel I could trust them enough to just be Kai. Yeah. And so I always tell my daughters, I don't want them to be like this hardcore person or feel like they always have to fight. I pray that in my lifetime and in theirs, they encounter a man that's truly after God's own heart, a man that truly has a heart for them, so that they know they don't have to fight. It's good to know how to fight, but you don't have to because there's someone that will truly and genuinely fight for you. Yeah. So, y'all, you know what I'm saying. Go forth and be great. On purpose, with purpose, because you have purpose. And you know I love you. On purpose.